Are you a person that's still struggling to get interviews? You're applying to thousands of jobs, you're using AI, you're doing this, you're doing that, but yet you still can't get a single interview. I'm gonna tell you why, and I'll show you how to fix it. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Henry Davis. I am a cybersecurity professional, and I'm also a career coach. I've talked to hundreds, if not thousands of people over the last 5 years, and I've seen some bad resumes and some bad mistakes. The reason why I'm not the biggest fan of you applying to thousands of jobs is because there's no way possible your resume fits to thousands of jobs. I've seen so many resumes, and can I be honest with you? About 95% of resumes that I see are bad.
Number two.
And most of the time when I'm talking to clients in consultations or coaching calls, I tell them, hey, you got skills, but let me tell you something. Your packaging is bad. Packaging from you, your resume, your job search strategy, everything is bad.
This is bad, real bad, Michael Jackson.
Now, I want to talk about some things that we see in resumes. So one of the things that you could be running into is, on average, recruiters spend about 1 to 7 seconds reviewing resumes when you apply to a job. And if you don't impress them in those 7 seconds, then you're going to get denied. Also, most resumes have a lot of these same characteristics in why that they are not getting selected for interviews. Bad format. I've seen some horrible looking resumes, and I'm telling you, it's bad. and when I look at it, I'm saying I see why you're not getting any interviews. Like, who is going to look at that? Who's going to search through that? And you're getting discarded off top, because presentation is everything. So if you send in a bad resume, what does that say about you and how you care about yourself and the level of work that you possibly would do at the company? I don't think people really see how some of these things go hand in hand. If you don't care about something as simple as your resume, how would you even care to show up for our interview, do well for us, and even work for us? Now, some people are going to say they don't correlate, but you let me know in the comments. I think presentation is everything. Also, on the resume, people are lacking the skills needed for the job. So, for example, you'll see somebody apply to a security analyst resume, but their resume reads like nothing but help desk, and they don't have any of the skills that are in the security analyst job description. So they're trying to say, man, I can't do nothing. I got all these certifications. But I was like, yeah, but I don't see a translation here. There has to be some type of reformatting or revamping of your resume. And now I will say there are times where I actually review your resume and say, okay, you're painting yourself as this, but in the weeds of your resume, you are doing this type of work. That's when the magic happens. Bad grammar. Using the word like I. The I is a cardinal sin on the resume. You really shouldn't be saying I on there. I don't even know why it's a cardinal sin, but if you know, most of the time you not see someone using first person language on a resume. Mispunctuation, spelling errors. Use spell check before you do your resume. I'm telling you, it'll help you out. Now, what you got, AI can help you polish some of the things that you say on your resume. But also, one of the issues when you got with the bad resumes is everyone is using AI resumes and they're all looking the same. And now you have companies filtering out if you really completed your resume purely off of AI. So that's an issue. So don't try to do that like the heavy way. Like, it needs to be your own words or a resume writer that helped you out. But if you're just going to do solely AI, it may not help you out, because AI lacks context sometimes too. And it only can make a good enough resume based on how you prompt it and structure it to make your bullet points. Your resume reads like a job description. That's a big one. If you notice, a job description just tells you about duties and what you can do on the job, but it does not have outcomes. If you don't have outcomes on your resume, then it's not a good resume. It's not showing any problem solving skills. I was just reading something on Resume Genius where they broke down all these different statistics of showing how hiring managers are looking for problem solving skills. They're looking for what you've done. How can you contribute to the team? So you can't see that if you're doing the stupid thing of either rewriting a job description, throwing it in your resume, getting your resume or getting your job description and you're putting it in all white and putting a small font on your resume. That doesn't work. So if people are still telling you to do that on TikTok, don't. And last but not least, lying. Straight up AI generated resume. You never did any of these jobs. Or, for example, your job description reads as help desk, but you say security analyst. There's no consistency there. I've seen that a lot of times where somebody have a security analyst title on their resume, and then it'll say something like answered calls, managed about 500 endpoints. I'm like, that's not what a security analyst does. So you're thinking you're trying to outsmart the ATS system. Meanwhile, a human is seeing your resume and they're rejecting it. And also, we'll bring in like people are trying to make their resume so ATS friendly, and they're still getting denied because it's just not a good resume. And so a lot of these things are preventing you, unfortunately, just from getting a job. And not to mention formatting. Sometimes when you're applying to certain job sites where it's like Workday, ADP, Greenhouse, you name it, sometimes you might be better off applying with a PDF versus a docx, so it can make sure it parses it the correct. Now, the other thing that I actually would probably say that might be more important than your resume that's harming you is your LinkedIn. Listen, LinkedIn is very important. To me, LinkedIn is like a digital resume. It should kind of resemble your resume, but it should have stark contrast. So, for example, some of the things I see on LinkedIn is bad headlines, no pictures, no banners. And I know about Black people, they always talk about I got interviews with no picture, this and that. I don't really agree with that because I feel like I want to know who I'm interviewing with. And I think when a lot of people give that no picture advice, they do have to think about this. In the last 5 years with remote work, it's been a lot of BS going on. So when you're going to be interviewing, they want to make sure you are who you say you are. And just putting a face with a name maybe is even easier for the recruiter versus trying to figure out if you are the actual person. I mean, of course, they got to do their verification checks, but you just never know. It's just been so much going on with this remote work crap. And you really just want to try to give yourself the best chance to succeed. So I've never had an issue of not having a picture because, I mean, hey, I always have decent pictures on there. I have a nice banner. But that, in your headline, you got too many things going on. I have people that are saying, hey, I want to be in cybersecurity. But yet when I look at their headline, it's like, hey, I work help desk, A plus, network plus, customer service. I'm like, bro, those not the skills needed for a security analyst. So therefore, when recruiters are looking for a security analyst, you're not being indexed because you don't have the right things on your profile. You don't have the right SEO, as they want to call it. You have a bad about me. Your about me is not showing any impact. This, of course, doing the same first person thing. And yeah, it's just not a lot to be desired there. And then also, you don't have the right skills. Just like on your resume, same thing with your LinkedIn. You don't have the right skills for the roles you're applying to. So you're not getting hit up by LinkedIn recruiters. And your job descriptions on your jobs, you could post those there. You don't have those there, so they're not showing anything. You don't post. Now, everybody doesn't have the benefit of not having anything on their LinkedIn because some of them have superb skills. For y'all to have the run-of-the-mill skills, you got to do everything possible so you can secure at least an interview. And also, you guys want to be referred, but you don't post anything on your LinkedIn. So if you go ask to get a referral, that person you ask to refer you goes to your page and doesn't see anything. 9 times out of 10, they're going to say no. See, I can refer a person if I go look at 10, 15 posts of yours and I like what you say. I see what you've been working on. Okay, cool. I'll refer you. But if not, no. And for a lot of you that are trying to pivot, you haven't any projects and you don't have projects listed on your LinkedIn or GitHub where people can go click on and look at some of the stuff you did. Your LinkedIn can very much make or break you. I've gotten so many opportunities just because I have a good LinkedIn profile. And I'll tell you that even with clients, sometimes they're still not listening. And I'm like, hey, just do this simple stuff I'm asking you to do and it's going to work. And soon enough, they say, hey, recruiters are messaging me again. I got this interview. I got that interview. I'm like, yeah, because they can find you now. See, the whole thing was you were invisible to recruiters. It's just like the ugly girl that, well, she's not ugly, but she's shy, and then they go make her up, and she looks good now. Go watch Not Another Teen Movie. You'll see what I'm saying. It's the same thing with your career, with your resume, your LinkedIn. You got to make yourself up and stand out. And once you stand out, that's when you're going to start getting interviews. And of course, I know that you still got to do good in the interview to get a job, but half the battle is just even being seen. Now, for those of you to say, well, I got a good LinkedIn, I got a good resume, I'm still not able to get an interview. I'll say, now, here is the thing. A lot of these jobs are competitive. Sometimes they post them on LinkedIn and they get about 2,000 impressions, but that means maybe 100 or 200 people applied. So you got to do something to cut through that. So I'm going to show you a trick that I utilize a lot of times when I'm trying to get an interview with the company. So check this out, okay? So say you want to apply to the illustrious Microsoft. Now we're looking at roles over here, and so let's say I'm interested in this security researcher role. Now, right now, it does not show me who was the recruiter for this role, right? That's actually the entry level role. 1 year software development, bachelor's degree. We got all this stuff. Cool. Now, for me, When I'm going through job descriptions, a lot of time I'm looking for small things, acronyms, anything that could possibly lead me to who I need to speak to on LinkedIn. So I see this right here, MSTIC. Now I don't know what that stands for, but let's see if we can find it in Microsoft. So let's go back. All right, so now we're looking at people. And for people that don't understand this, you can utilize this to find people. So we got our acronym. Let's put it in quotes and see what we get. We got 81 associated members. Look at that. So this person, and now the other thing is you got to see how often these people use this. So these people will possibly be people that's on that team or work with that team. They're threat intelligence or, possibly some security researchers. So here's a security researcher right here. He's a lead there. Let's see if we see any manager. Or we can do this. Now let's see if we see this. I'm going to do this. Now you can do Boolean searches here. So look, that's for Ghost. Now that's not for the MSTIC team, but let's see if we're heating up. Manager lead. That's a program manager lead. So look, we found a principal level guy right here. I don't know if he uses this often. Sometimes these people don't use it often, but they will answer back. So he did this 5 months ago. So, I mean, the thing is, you do want to find somebody that does that. Now, another thing you could try to do is do a Boolean to see, hey, let's see if anybody from the, MSTIC, and then let's see if we got a recruiter there. So let's try that. Now this way is not 100% foolproof. It works sometimes. So this time it didn't work for this. So sometimes I have to do something like this, security, and then I do technical recruiter. So now we got technical recruiters that do security stuff at Microsoft. Now, granted, all these recruiters are not going to be the recruiters that are recruiting for that position. However, it could be a start. And then if you want some scripts to reach out to them, please make sure you click on the links in the description, and I can actually send you some free scripts that you can use to reach out to recruiters. In order to connect with these people, you want to send them a note in the connection request. So hit connect, add a note, and typically my note would say something like, hey Ron, how you doing? My name is Andre Davis. I recently applied for the security role at Microsoft. I have over a decade of experience in security operations and incident response, and I believe my experience would be valuable to the team. I would love to hear more about what you or the hiring manager is looking for in this position. Please reach out if you need any more information from me. Something simple, right? And then you hit send. And if they like your profile, they go back and see you, they'll respond back to it and say, hey, here's my link. Let's schedule a call. And that's literally how the process goes. And that's how you beat ATS. It's how you position yourself to at least get an interview and get on the radar. And treat every recruiter nice, because you never know when they'll go to a different company and maybe hiring again and they can help you out. So in this video, I've told you about why you're not getting interviews, and also how you can help yourself get better at getting interviews, and how you can also go directly to the source on a site like LinkedIn in order to stop being invisible and become visible to recruiters. So I hope you found this video helpful. Please reach out, like it, share it out. Leave your comments and questions below in the comment section if I didn't answer something that you have a question about, and I'll be sure to respond to your comments. As always, let's stay textual.